What's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is the Warehouse Series, and this is Discord Friday. I thank you guys for joining. We're going to go over a couple different topics on today's video with the pictures that you submitted over on Discord. So I thank you guys for that. Keep posting your work, and you will be on a future Friday. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, I thank you for doing that. It is a growing channel. There's millions of warehouse selectors out there. We are just tipping the iceberg, or not even tipping the iceberg. We're just cracking the surface here. I should have 1 million subscribers by next month. I wish. All right, guys, donations. If you want to help donate and support the channel, I really appreciate a thumbs up. And I'm not going to post this on it's going to be down here, but I'm not going to talk about it every video. But if you guys know by now, I have an eBay store called Something Different Shop. If you guys want to check that out as well, I really appreciate it. So let's get on to today's video. All right, guys, so the first thing I'm going to say is I'm trying different things with this channel. So I'm probably going to start bringing back live shows. I want to be a little bit more organized with them, though. The first 2 or 3 live shows I think I have on there, a little bit unorganized. I want to try to get more organized with reading the comments and that. I'm trying to get some help in, so I'm going to see if my wife can maybe come in and help me with that to make it go a lot smoother. And interviews. I did one interview with Cole Wolf, and it was a great interview. I really enjoyed doing it. Unfortunately, I was supposed to put Row Andy's out earlier this week, and I don't know what happened, but we did a 2-parter on the interview. In the first part, I only had audio and not video. I don't know what happened, so we're going to reschedule that, redo that, but that interview is still going to be coming out. And Andy, I apologize. I apologize for messing that up. I know that was me. I don't know what I hit wrong, but I did. And I reached out to a TikTok selector, Terrell144. If you guys are not following him, he's on TikTok. I'm going to interview him as well coming up here shortly, and I hopefully get that video out soon as possible. But I thank you for reaching out to me, Terrell, and hopefully you subscribe to my channel and you're on Discord now, because I don't think you were before, but if you are, I appreciate you for being here. All right, guys, so let's get on to your pictures. The first thing I want to talk about is stacking on open boxes. Now, I am not a fan of this. I do not like stacking on open boxes. Anytime I get open boxes, I do what you did right here. I use the column stacking technique. So these cases, these pomegranates, are smaller than what you stacked on down here. I don't know what these are down here, if they're honeydews, whatever they are, but it is not a good thing to stack on, because see, our corner fell. So even if you balance that box on there, once you start putting weight on there, you're going to fall inside and possibly crush it, and it could possibly knock your pallet over as well. Anytime I get open boxes, right up the front, I column stack them right up the front, one on top of each other, because if you have 5 of these boxes down here, are they big, huh? Yeah, they're big. So you're gonna have 4 of those boxes. So I would have stacked 4 right up the front on top of each other. They're all the same size boxes, all the same case, so they're gonna stack well on top of each other. So think about this. If we would have stacked all 4 of these big boxes straight on top of each other, and then the pomegranates could have went right here, column stacked. Column stack your light cases together. Don't spread them around like we did with these red boxes. You want to column stack them together. You do not want to stack inside of open boxes. All right, the second one I want to look at is this one right here. Now, this is a great looking pallet, but once again, I do not select milk crates, but I have restacked pallets that can cross dock with milk crates. Me personally, I'm stacking these in a corner of my pallet. Now, we got probably 9. I'm guessing we have 9. 3, 6, 9. I would have had 3, 6, 9 right in a corner. It would have been, even if it was this, guys, even if it was 3, 6, and 9 with one behind, and then I could have stuck these Pure Lives column stacked on the corner. I would much rather I call these problem cases. I'm going to search for my problem case video, and if you guys, I'm going to put it in the description below. If you have never seen my problem case video, click that link in the description below and watch that, because I truly believe that there are certain cases that are just not meant to be stacked on. Now, if you have a half a pallet of milk crates, there's nothing you can do. That's where a breaker pallet, guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't use breaker pallets. I don't use slip sheets, but a breaker pallet or a slip sheet on top of this would be a perfect example of when to use one. I would probably much rather use a breaker pallet than a slip sheet, because even with a slip sheet, you're going to get these cases to possibly buckle and sink in. Because right now we got this corner possibly sinking into the top of the milk crate. When this gets to the store, this case might be buckled and you might have a pallet that's falling over. It looks great right here, but I just do not like stacking on open boxes. That's what I'm getting to. I love the rest of the pallet though. I mean, this pallet is great looking. Guys, on I don't know when the heck video was. I'm putting out more videos now. But I told you, a tie-in from a high to a low, it needs to be as minimal as possible. That's it right there. Any more than that, it's not going to work. See how minimal this is? And it gives us an opportunity to correct it and be level again. You do not want to do any more than what that is right there. Once again, guys, I posted this video because it rolls right into what I'm talking about. Minimal gaps, minimal tie-ins. Now, me personally, even with the previous picture, I wouldn't do it. I am a person that I'm a firm believer. If it doesn't fit flat, I'm not doing it. I am all about flat stacking. I want my cases to fit level. But if you are going in, you want to curve in. See how nice and solid our front is, and we have the back slanting in? This is exactly how you want to do it. You want that nice solid level front, and then we got some slight cases in. The reason why I want to do this right here, because if these are yogurt cups or something upside down, this sitting on here is enough to rip right into the top of that yogurt cup. If these are big yogurt cups or even sour creams, whatever they are, it's this right here, this stress on here, even though you don't have a lot on it, where there's enough to stress crack the lid, stress, pop open the top. There's enough to make this part of this case buckle, package, break, crack, whatever, and it becomes not sellable. So I would not tie in this high to a low right here unless it was a solid box. Always keep these flat, but other than that, great looking pallet. All right, guys, this pallet right here, someone posted. I like it. We're keeping light cases together. We got a nice strong corner facing in. This case right here, I probably would have kept facing in. I would have slid some cases up or even just evenly spaced them out. That's that concept of doing this all the time. The more cases you have facing in, the better. It's going to make your pallet nice and strong. Excuse my dog for barking in the background. But right here, we did it perfectly. I like this. Although this whole column, I would have just kept facing in. I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it. The more cases you have facing towards the middle line of this pallet, the better. The more you have going back this way, the more that teetering factor you get where your pallet falls over. It's still not a bad looking pallet. This case right here, I wanted to put it in the middle. It looks like a nice big strong case, something that I would put on the corner. I always wait patiently when I'm stacking my pallets. I always wait patiently. Big strong corners, big cases on the corners facing in with smaller cases in the middle. It's still a good looking pallet, but once again, and I like this time right here with this big long case. It's just something I always like to reiterate is how I like to do things. All right, guys, on this one right here, now we got a shorter pallet, but I still want to talk about this. Now, I say that I like putting bags in the middle of the pallet, but to what extent? We want to keep a couple in here. We don't want to stack this high in the middle of the pallet because this still can very easily teeter over and knock your whole back corner over. Now, so what would I do? I would take these, they look like sugars or whatever, they're bakery bags. And maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have put them here. All right. I would have stacked 2 evenly and went from there, and then possibly tied it in with the big blue bag. I would have made 2 columns of this. Even though it's on the corner, I would have still made 2 columns of this. I just think this much weight in the middle of the pallet is enough to knock this over. We got flour or sugar on the pallet down here. So that could be one of 2 things. One, either our bag is broken or it was already on the pallet whenever we grabbed it. So it's possible that this was in the pick slot and we just backed under this pallet because it was empty or whatever. And it already had something from a previous case on it. So, but if you're a new selector and you select the case and it's broken open, please toss it to the side. All right, stick it upright so the hole's not out dripping all over the floor or leaking out all over the floor. Set it upright against a rack so someone can come pick it up later and select a better bag. Because these bags right here are what they make their cakes with and everything else with in the bakery part of your stores. All right, this is what's going to the bakery part of the stores, and they are making their cakes and everything with that. Any slit in the bag, it should be thrown away. All right, anything. It doesn't matter if it's the smallest slit. You don't put tape on it, all right? You throw it away, because this is what we're making cakes with and stuff like that. So if there's anything broken, throw it away. But too much of heavy bags all in one area. All right, this one right here, I wanted to show. I like this. This is a very well stacked pallet. And look, guys, look, high corner, low inside, always focusing on those. Coming in. I call these juicy juices also problem cases. Once again, guys, in the description below, watch my problem case video. They're problem cases because they're hard to stack on. And this is what I'm talking about with the milk crates. And come to think of it, I think Cold Wolf did the milk crates and this one. So my thing is treat these like the milk crates. If you're keeping your problem cases all in one area, I would do the same thing with the milk crates, because I believe that's a problem case. Now, Cold Wolf builds great pallets. I'm talking to new selectors. Keep these like this, because you're putting them all in one area and you don't have to worry about stacking on them. And that's exactly what he did, and he did it perfectly. All right, guys, and here we go. This was the pallet that we were looking at before, guys, with the open crates. So this is what I'm talking about. But I wanted to put it on here again because I wanted to go over the actual pallet. We talked about the minor tie-in from high to a low. They're keeping minute, but I want to go over this because we've got a lot of LaCroix going on here. But look how everything's upright. Nothing's on its side. We got small cases in the middle. We're keeping light cases together. That is why this pallet is so strong. See how we call them stacked here? What do I say time and time again? If you get a strong base from waist, and this is probably more like chest down, if you get that nice solid base, you can column stack. I mean, we did tie in the back, but you can get away with column stacking when you have that nice base. That's why I say it's so important to focus on a strong base. All right, this one right here, I don't agree with it, and I think this is also Cold Wolf. Cold Wolf, you've been posting a lot of videos lately. You are selecting in the warehouse again. And the reason why I don't agree with this is because I'm guessing these are flowers. They look like they're flowers, and all this weight on top of this box is going to crush this. It's going to absolutely 100% crush this. And if we got plants in there sticking straight up, and you even crush the top of those plants, well, they're non-sellable. That case is going to be damaged out. It's not going to be sellable. Guys, I get you're on a standard system. I get that, a lot of you guys just don't give a crap. You just don't care what your pallets look like. Now, Cold Wolf cares what his pallets look like. But what I'm getting to is that think ahead. All right. Anytime I'm selecting, I take pride in my work. I think ahead. What's the point of selecting one of these flowers if I'm going to crush the shit out of it? There's no point in it. If I would have already had this down, I would have just swapped that case out of there and stacked my potatoes up and my onions, and I would put the flour on top of it. Because this is a very crushable case, since we have 150 pounds, 200 pounds on top of it, and some more. So there's probably close to 300 pounds on top of that one case, because these bags are 50 pounds a piece. And then we got some more cases up here. So there is a strong possibility this flour is going to be crushed, and the plants in there are going to be cracked, and you're not going to, like the top of the branches are going to be all smashed down. You're not going to be able to sell it. So keep in mind, you should not be stacking heavy weight on top of flowers. All right, guys, this is somebody that they posted on Discord, and they private messaged me this saying they're using my system. And I love this pallet. And I don't even care that you wrap the crap out of it, because I can see through it. And you're definitely using my techniques, because these boxes right here, all the green boxes, are the ones with the open part on the one side, and you're keeping them facing in. Time and time again, I see you guys post on Discord, and you have the open box facing out. You want that facing in case it buckles or your pallet starts to lean. You want it leaning inwards. But see how we're leaning in? Slight leans, guys. Slight leans in towards the middle of this pallet. People do not understand how important the middle of this pallet is right here. That is the line that we focus on. All right, we want everything pointing towards this middle part. And look how everything just nicely goes together whenever you do that. Very well done. Small cases in the middle. I just love it. I love when people post work and they tell me that they learned it from and not to just pat myself on the back. I'm just glad that what I am explaining is being comprehended. And it makes me feel good that I'm actually going somewhere with the teachings that I'm doing on this channel. All right, guys, this one right here. I said this on a couple videos ago now. Seven Tie McGee has been messaging me, and he said that his warehouse is actually saying you have to throw a Chet pallet on to, at this point. I'm sorry, but these pallets are not light. They are heavy pallets. They're 50 to 60 pounds. If you get a wet one, I laughed the other day. I was doing high lift work at my building, and one of the pallets were wet. That thing must have weighed 150 pounds. I can't even imagine. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. So guys, you do not want to throw pallets up on top of wood if you do not have to. You have a strong base. Now you threw white wood back here, which is great if you're going to throw one. But these two breaker pallets are so not needed unless the warehouse said, hey, we want our whatever LaCroix and we want our potatoes and stuff separated with a pallet. And if they are, goes back to my video I put out Saturday. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you and your back. But whenever you hurt your back lifting these Chet pallets up for a breaker pallet all the time, they're going to be like, oh, what happened? I don't understand why you got hurt. It just irritates the hell out of me. This is so unnecessary. And the fact that Seven Tie was telling me that their warehouse recommends it and they want them to do it, it blows my mind. They have no clue. I'm going right back to that damn video again. I'm going to get fired up again. If you guys did not see the video I put out Saturday, I will also link that in the description below. Watch that video. It's a huge rant from spending 25 and a half years in warehousing and seeing what you guys go through on Discord. God, does it aggravate me. There is no need for it. But if you're doing this because you think it's going to help you build a better pallet, stop it. All right, stop it right now, because you're building some beautiful bases, and this would have fit perfectly fine on top of this, and this would have fit perfectly fine on top of this. Now we got potatoes and stuff back here, it looks like, possibly, so we might, I don't know what this stuff is, but if you have to separate them, do it with the slip sheet and on a pallet. All right, guys, and I want to end with one of the surveys I put out. When you were trained, did your trainer teach you to use a slip sheet? And 41% yes out of 135 votes. 41% said yes. So why don't I like this? Yes, you guys have been following me. I'm not a big fan of slip sheets, but guys, the reason why I say this is, ask your most senior guy in your place. Did they use slip sheets when they selected? Maybe they're not selecting now, but did they use slip sheets? When I started, no one, zero, used slip sheets. If you saw one use a slip sheet, what are you doing that for? Zero people use slip sheets. This is why I am the way I am, because I was brought up on not using slip sheets. Why do I hate them? Because I think they're a waste of time. And what happens is if you're being trained from day one to use slip sheets when you really don't need them, then you start relying on them. All right, and that's the problem. You start relying on slip sheets and you start looking for them and you start wasting time. That's why I'm a big advocate of not using slip sheets, because it's just a time waster. Anything that wastes time in the warehouse, it shouldn't be done. All right, you guys have to make a standard, possibly make incentive if you're shooting for incentive. The last thing you want to do is waste time looking for a slip sheet. That's why I am like that. But I'm not a fan of these trainers teaching you to use slip sheets. They should teach you to build solid pallets, and from there, if you guys feel the need to use a slip sheet, then you should use one. Because if I never taught my trainees to use slip sheets. I taught them how to build strong pallets. It was on them if they want to use one from time to time again, but I never taught it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for joining in. Keep an eye out for those 2 interviews popping up and possibly some more. If you guys instant message me if you were interested in an interview, I would definitely like to make that a part of my channel. And like I said, keep an eye out. I'm trying to think about doing a live video again. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.